Hey, what is up guys? This is Bailey Stein with Android Authority, and today we'll be checking out the ASUS ZenWatch 3, a $230 Android Wear smartwatch. Without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the ZenWatch 3 is available in three colors: rose gold, silver, and gunmetal, which is the model I have. The first thing that jumps out at you is the circular watch face. It's surrounded by an accented, diamond-cut bezel, which meets up with the rest of the watch's housing. Unlike the Moto 360, there's no flat tire, and get this, ASUS somehow managed to include an ambient light sensor for auto brightness, so you're kind of getting the best of both worlds here. The watch itself is encased in a stainless steel body, and it definitely gives off a premium vibe. The lugs might look a bit odd at first, but I think they complement the rest of the design nicely. You can swap out the ZenWatch's wrist straps using the quick release pin, although you won't be able to use third-party bands as the connection is proprietary. That's kind of a bummer, but the good news is that the leather wrist strap is actually pretty good, offering a good deal of both comfort and style. It might be a tad too small for those with larger wrists though, so you might want to try it on in a retail store before purchasing it if you're worried about this. On the side of the watch, there's three really nice, really tactile buttons. So with the physical keys, you can quickly launch an app of your choice, go back, or turn on airplane mode. I rarely use these buttons though, and to be frank, 3 individual buttons feels excessive, so I think a single customizable side button might have been better. Overall, design is certainly a strong point. I first thought that the gold accent around the display looked a bit tacky, but it grew on me over time. For the display, we're looking at a 1.39-inch circular AMOLED panel with a resolution of 400 by 400. This is probably the best display on a smartwatch to date, and having auto brightness is an absolute godsend. It does tend to lower brightness values though, making the display hard to read in some environments. Hopefully a future software update can tweak this. For the extremes, there's no proper low brightness mode, so the watch's theater mode just turns off the display completely. Sunlight readability is great though, probably some of the best you'll obtain from this form factor. Under the hood, the ZenWatch 3 is a bit different from devices like the Huawei watch and the Moto 360 second generation. Instead of using a Snapdragon 400, it uses Qualcomm's Snapdragon Wear 2100. That's important because the Wear 2100 chip was designed specifically for smartwatches, theoretically translating to faster performance and better battery life. Well, the ZenWatch 3 does not disappoint with performance. Swiping between cards and panels is very smooth, and I didn't notice much lag. There's also 512 megabytes of RAM, which is pretty much standard for Android Wear. The ZenWatch 3 has IP67 certification, meaning that it's dustproof and water resistant for up to 1 meter of water for 30 minutes. Now, we wouldn't recommend taking a shower with the ZenWatch, but you won't have to worry about it when, say, washing your hands. So for connectivity, it primarily uses Bluetooth 4.1 to connect with your Android phone or iPhone, but also supports Wi-Fi as sort of a fallback. What it does not have, however, is GPS and NFC, so you'll be missing out on a few standalone Wear apps as well as any potential for using the watch for Android Pay. There also isn't a heart rate monitor, which is a bit disappointing since many competing options include one. There is a microphone and speaker though, so yes, you can use your watch to place and receive calls if you wish. ASUS says the 340 mAh battery should last 1 to 2 days, depending on your usage, and I was able to get around 24 hours per charge. That's about average for an Android Wear device. What's not average though is the ZenWatch 3's fast charging, which can go from 0 to 60% in just 15 minutes. It's a really great feature to have, as it means I can just plop it on the charger while getting ready in the morning and come back to it 40 minutes later, fully charged. Speaking of the charger, it connects to flush underside pins and magnetically guides itself into place. It's not perfect by any means, but it's one of the better implementations we've seen. Just one gripe though, the charging cable is only about 1 meter long. That wouldn't be a big issue if ASUS were selling longer cables, but that's just not the case, and it seems that you currently can't even get an extra or replacement charger, so you'll have to be gentle with the one you receive in the box. For software, there's not much to say other than that it's running Android Wear. It looks like this watch will be updated to the upcoming Android Wear 2.0 update though, so that's certainly something to look forward to. Just to give a basic overview of the user interface, you're basically starting out with a watch face of your choice, which acts as your home screen. From there, you can swipe up to see and act on different cards, which are sent by apps on your phone. So, for example, if I get a Hangouts message, a card pops up with the message details. From there, I can either leave it, dismiss it, or reply with my voice. It's all very neat, and you can think of it as a sort of a notification manager on your wrist. ASUS's own software is relatively little, which is good. The ZenWatch Manager app includes over 50 exclusive watch faces, but unfortunately, there's only a few good ones. You can always download third-party watch faces from the Google Play Store though, so all is not lost. There's also ASUS's ZenFit, which is a built-in app on the watch that tracks steps, workouts, and sleep. I found it worked pretty well overall, and it's wonderful that it syncs with Google Fit. You can purchase the ZenWatch 3 now from various retailers for $229. That's a great bargain considering what ASUS has brought to the table. It's quite difficult not to fall in love with the ZenWatch 3 with its beautiful design, great display, excellent performance, and nice hardware. If you're looking for what is likely the most well-rounded smartwatch to date, look no further. With that said, as much as I love the ZenWatch 3's hardware, the overall experience isn't enough for me to keep using it. Here's the thing, smartwatches, at least in their current form, aren't for everyone, and that's okay. The point is, ASUS has developed an excellent smartwatch that won't disappoint, so if you think the smartwatch concept is for you, definitely go for it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. Also, be sure to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Finally, be sure to visit the Android Authority website for additional coverage, as we are your source for all things Android.